Hey, if you own a home or you know someone that does, and you have things that you need to do or projects that you want to fund and you don't want to deal with a bank, I want you to watch this video because I have some amazing information for you, and I feel that it's extremely beneficial and a lot of people do not know about this. So keep watching this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to give you all of the amazing details. What's up, guys? I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. Now, this video is something for your life, and it has to deal with finances, which everyone needs. And unfortunately, a lot of people have no knowledge of this option, but I have to tell you that this is something that I found out about, that I just got from my own research, and I'm so grateful that this is something that has helped me out. But not only has it helped me out, I've been able to help out some family as well as some friends and clients with this alternative option that a lot of people just don't really know about, because let's just be honest, banks are not really our friends, okay? But they're in it to win it. They're in it to make money. They lend out money with higher percentage rates. They're slow to lend out money to you, and when they do, you're paying back a great percentage. But when you're keeping money in their institutions by way of having a checking account or savings account, money market account, whatever type of account you may have, you know that the returns are not really there. So they're in it to win it for themselves. So tapping into an option that a lot of people don't know about is something that I really wanted to share, because when I found out about it and I utilized it and it worked for me, I felt like this was information that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm going to be getting into a whole lot more financial topics with you guys, because I feel that it's extremely necessary, just from me going through a lot of things that I've gone through in my life and over the years. And so if I can share information that I've learned about, then I want to share it with you guys here. So if you're new to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe. You can go ahead and hit the like button while you're at it. But to know a little bit more about me, just to let you know, for those who are new, I am a licensed esthetician. I am an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since 2006, and more specifically, I've been in the wellness and beauty industry since 2008, owning and operating one of my businesses since then. And I'm also a skincare line creator. So to find out more about me, you can go to the links in my description box. I have my websites there if you just want to learn a little bit more about me. So let's just go ahead and get into what I wanted to share with you all today. If you are a homeowner, or if you know someone that is, and you're looking for an option to be able to access the equity that you or they may be sitting on, that you've been having difficulty getting the option to be able to access and utilize. All right, so if you are a homeowner like I am, or you know someone that is, and you have been able to acquire equity in your home, that is money that you, one, deserve, you've earned, you've paid for, and you should be able to have the opportunity to access it. But unfortunately, the banks don't really make it very easy for you to do so. So with that being said, you may have been in your home for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And yes, you still have a mortgage, but you have acquired a good deal of equity in your home. A lot of times the banks, they will make it seem as if you are a new first-time home buyer, and you're going through the process of applying to tap into equity in the home that you currently are living in, and they have these requirements for what your credit score needs to be, your job needs to be. And if you are like myself and you are self-employed, unfortunately, it's not very easy. They make it easier for those who are actually employees, who have a check stub every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, however often they're getting paid, versus someone who is self-employed, where you're having to show 3 years, sometimes upwards, of tax returns and scrutinizing your bank account to see how much money you have coming in and how much you have going out, versus someone who just has a pay stub. But even if you are someone who is an employee and you're getting a pay stub, maybe your credit score isn't high enough. Maybe there are things that are going on with your job situation and it's not very stable. And so all of those things are scrutinized, or maybe all of those things are fine and you're going through the bank to apply for a home equity loan or home equity line of credit. And the appraisal, meaning when they are contracting with an appraiser to come out to your property to appraise the value, to let that bank know how much they believe your home is worth, and then they use that to assess how much you would be able to borrow from your home equity. The appraisal may not come back as you believe it should. These are so many different things that a lot of people deal with when it comes to the banks. And I'm speaking from experience because not only have I been there, I know people who personally have been through this process where they may have been approved, but when it came back to the appraisal came back lower than what the bank anticipated it would be. So thereby, the amount that they initially said that they could borrow, it either came back to be a whole lot less or it wasn't going to shake out at all. So with that being said, there are options for you guys, and these options are called home equity agreements. So you may ask, like, what is a home equity agreement? Well, home equity agreements, they're not available in every state in the country, so that is something that I want to preface this by. But I will say, for the company that I have experience with and have worked with, and by the way, this is not a sponsored video. No one from the company is paying me or sponsoring me to do this video. I'm strictly sharing this information because this is something that I found and that has helped me out. Well, home equity agreements, they are agreements for you to be able to technically borrow from your home equity from a company, but it's not a loan. They're not a traditional lender. And it allows you to be able to access your home equity so that you can do things that you need to do or to desire to do. And so it gives you greater flexibility, and they are 10-year agreements. You are not required to make a monthly payment. So that's also something that really helps you with the flexibility in your finances. So it's not, whereas if you were to get a second mortgage on your home, you're going to have your first mortgage payment and you're also going to have another payment on top of that. Because the home equity agreement is not a loan, there is no interest rate. And what it does is, the home equity agreement, you are going to be able to access a portion of your home equity. The minimum is $30,000 and they go up to $500,000. So with that being said, there are no payments required in that 10-year period. You can pay it off early. There are no prepayment penalties. So you could pay it off in 30 days if you wanted to. You could pay it off in a year. You could pay it off in 10 years. But the great thing about it is credit scores can be as low as 500. You do not have to be employed. So if you are retired, if you're on Social Security, if you're sick and unemployed or disabled, you're in between jobs, those are not things that you need to worry about because there is no income qualification. Because you are a homeowner, it's an equity agreement that they are lending to you that you will thereby pay back. And depending on how many years you allow it to continue until you decide to pay it off, the longer the time period, the more you will pay back, but there will be a cap at how much you will be paying back in terms of the equity. And there are no changes to that. And another great thing about the home equity agreement is when your home appraisal is done, that amount that it was appraised at, your home appraises higher years later, they cannot come back later to say, oh, well, your home appraised for more. It's been 5 years, so we want greater equity in return. It's capped at what the agreement was. So you can make improvements to your home, or you may do no improvements to your home, but just the time that has gone by, your home has increased in value, thereby equity has increased. Your mortgage, you're continuing to pay that, and the amount that you owe on your first mortgage, well, the only mortgage, because there is no first mortgage or second mortgage, I should say, because you just have your main mortgage. Or if your home is paid off and you don't have a mortgage at all, which is even better, I would say, for those who already have a paid off home and they just have equity in it and they don't want to sell the house in order to be able to access the money. You still want to be able to live in your home, but you want to be able to enjoy the benefits of the equity that you have built up in your home. So I'll tell you a little quick story about how I found out about this option. I had some projects and things that I wanted to invest in. And this is what I recommend, guys who are looking to access your home equity. I always believe that if you are utilizing your home equity, you want to be able to utilize it so that it's either making you money or saving you money. So if you have higher interest debt that you want to pay down or pay off, I recommend using that for those purposes. I don't recommend tapping into your home equity to go on a lavish vacation or, spending your money on things that are not going to either save you money or make you money. But I've been wanting to make an investment into some projects that I'm doing for business that are going to make me more money, as well as make some improvements on our home that we have been in for now. It's been about 15 years. So we've got a great deal of equity in our home, okay? So with that being said, I tried the options of going through the bank, and unfortunately, it was either approved or working with another institution, not approved, or it was approved, but the rates were ridiculous. We have an amazing APR on our home because over the years, when we bought our home, the interest rates were great because it was during the housing market crash, cha-ching. But I've also refinanced over the years only to lower the interest rate. That was it. Never did it to take out any equity out of the home. So we're in an amazing rate right now. Like, you couldn't blast us out of our home right now, okay? But the options were to do a completely whole new mortgage, meaning with the rates the way they are right now, okay, yeah, we get some cash, but ultimately it wouldn't be for our better benefit in the long run. So we decided, no, don't think we want to go that route. As well as the closing costs were absolutely ridiculous, because if you're going that route and the closing costs, when you look at it, of course, you're not paying that up front. The only thing you're paying for up front is the appraisal. And I'll tell you about that as well. The amount of money that it shakes out to be over that period of time, say if I was going to get $50,000 cash out, the closing costs were going to be, about $26,000. Absolutely ridiculous. But, reading the paperwork, a lot of people may not pay attention to that. And that was what caused me to pause and say, you know what, I think I'm going to hold off on that. So I literally prayed and I said, God, like, what options are there out there for someone like myself who's self-employed and just wanting to tap into the equity in my home? So I Googled that and I found out about these home equity agreements. So I did my research. I looked up the reviews for one of the companies that does operate in the state that I'm located in, and that company is called Unlock Technologies. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm just letting you know the company that I utilize, and it worked out swimmingly, okay? It was a quick, simple process of just putting in my information online to do a quick check to see if I would even qualify, and I did. So I scheduled the phone meeting, and from there, things went pretty quickly. So again, the home equity agreement that I got, the company, they start at the minimum of $30,000. So based on our home and what we qualified for, I said, okay, well, this is what I want to do. Did the quick application. It was approved. You have the appraisal done. The appraiser comes out. They did the appraisal. The appraisal took maybe less than a week to return. And then after the appraisal, the paperwork for the agreement in terms of the locked-in numbers were sent. And then once that was done, then the closing was scheduled. So everything was complete for myself in less than 60 days. I would say for some other people that I recommended this to, for some it took a little bit longer just because of the way they had things set up. And then others, it actually took a little over 30 days. So, and once it's done, you have your money in maybe a couple of days, sometimes less. So this home equity agreement process is something that I recommend above any home equity loan, home equity line of credit. And again, there are no payments that are required for the 10-year period. It's a 10-year term, but you can definitely pay it off. You can make payments regularly. And the ultimate, and this is just something that everyone needs to know, if you're not able to pay it all back within 10 years, then you have to sell your home so that they can get their equity. But for a lot of people like myself, that's a great option, because in 10 years, I don't plan to be in my same home. I plan to have either sold it before then or by that time, because I have other plans, and I'm not going to speak about all of that right now, but I'm basically saying it's a great option for a lot of people who plan on selling their home anyway. But for others, you have 10 years to pay it back, and payments are not required. But if you plan on staying in your home, I would recommend making those payments. Or what you could do is the money that you would be making in payments to them regularly, open up an account that has a higher APY. Like, for example, Discover Bank has a great online account option where you can open up a savings account, and I believe theirs is 4.75% APY. So you can utilize those payments that you would be making and put it into that account, allow that account to draw that interest so that you can make money off of that money, and just continue to put it there for that 10-year period. And then when it's time to pay them off, you pay them off, and you've earned money in the interim as well. So again, this is not a sponsored video. I don't work for these companies, but I wanted to share an option and an alternative for people who have homes, or they know people who have homes, and you have equity in it. It's like you're sitting on cash, and you might as well be able to utilize that money to make more money or to save you money. And the banks don't really make it very easy for people to be able to access their home equity, especially these days. So having these options that you could be able to pay off or pay down debt, you can be able to invest in other things that are going to be able to make you more money. Maybe you're someone that likes to do investing in the market, and you want to be able to use that money to earn you more money versus just allowing it to sit in with the mortgager and having that money, yeah, it's there, and you know it's something that you've acquired in equity, but you want to be able to use that money the way you want to be able to use it now. Like that commercial says, it's my money and I need it now. Okay, so I highly recommend the home equity agreement if you are in a state where they are available, because again, they're not available in every state. So that's something else that you just have to, know about. But I'm really grateful that this was something that was available in the state that I reside, because it really helped me out so much in some things that I'm working on. And I'm really excited about this money being able to make more money for me, for my family. I'm just truly grateful that this was an option, because the banks just don't make it very easy for you. They're not very friendly when it comes to lending money, but when they do lend it, then we're paying back so much more than what we really should be. And then they're using our money to make money. They're using our money to lend to other people. So if there's an option and an alternative out there that's going to work for you, I always want us to know about it. So because this is something that worked for me, I wanted to be able to share it with my subscribers here on the Minister of Beauty channel. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions about anything. I will put the link to the company that I worked with, as well as there are other companies that have these options. So this is just one of the companies that is available. And what I do believe, because this is a newer technology that's probably just been around for maybe the last 4 or 5 years. So what I believe is going to happen is there's just going to be more companies that are going to get into this business because it just makes sense. It's lucrative for them. They will make money, but it's also going to really help a whole lot of people. And the company that I worked with, they really did help me, and they helped a whole lot of other people. And I was able to recommend this to other people that I know. And when I heard that they had their closings and they got their money, I was just so happy for them. So I said, you know what? I need to share it with my subscribers. So I really hope you all got something out of this. Again, let me know if you have any questions in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here with me. As the Minister of Beauty, I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next time, I hope and pray you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.